When I say that Real Housewives of New York, seasons 1 through 12, got me through my deepest, darkest depression, those seasons and episodes are evergreen. Scary Island with Kelly Bensimon, Sonia in the limo, Smokey Eye up doing shot. It's Sophia Franklyn. You are listening to Sophia with an F, and the F is for phenomenal. What's up, everybody? We are doing things a little bit differently this week. It is going to be a solo episode, which means it's gonna be me and just me. I always want to start off every single episode of Sophia the F with just like a check-in. I think that it's really important to read your guys' comments and your DMs and like overall get my finger on the pulse of the social climate, right? Specifically in reaction to my show. Shit is hard right now. And all of last week, I felt depressed. I haven't felt depressed back to back to back in the way that I did last week, where it was like every day I was kind of feeling that depression for a while. I just think a lot of people are going through it, and there is this element of escapism that I'm always going to give you guys. Like, I'm always going to be me and be funny as shit because I am. But there's also this whole element of self-help, and that's been my obsession, right? Like doing affirmations and daily intentions and meditation and blah, 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 blah. All of those things are great. And then, in addition to that, I have a compulsion when I get on YouTube. Like, this is how you can improve your life in 6 months, how to be a bad bitch. After a while, it is no longer helpful. Like, it gets to a point where it's just like, I think I gotta just maybe be a mess. I think I gotta just live in the moment. I think I actually have to let my demons take over here and there. But what could use some structure is this show. I am recording from my studio in my house, okay? And if you're not subscribed, it would be cool if you did. I hate it. I hate the whole like, if you don't tell your listeners to subscribe, like they won't know to do it and blah, 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 blah. Like, you guys have no idea how many times I'm told that, which brings me to my next point. I also have this box sitting next to me that has a couple things that I want to start incorporating into the episode, which if you're listening in your headphones, it will still translate, but to get the actual visual imagery would be really, really something. Partly because I grabbed the nearest box that I could to like throw all this shit in, and it is a Genova Diagnostics specimen collection kit, which that functional medicine doctor who like low-key told me I had Lyme's disease, but not really, but if I took vitamins, like I wouldn't get Lyme's disease. She told me to do this stool sample kit, and that was about 6 months ago, and I still haven't done it. I do want to do it, and I will do it, and I will share my results, but that's the box we're using right now. To be clear, there is no feces in the box currently, obviously. If you guys couldn't tell what that is part of my box of surprises. I have this sound box. It cost me $4 off Amazon, and it has 4, 8, 12, 16 different sounds on here. And one of them is people laughing. And that's what you just heard, because that very dry tone that I tend to have, especially when I'm joking, it doesn't translate. And I end up looking like I'm being serious. And then people think I'm either crazy or dumb. And so, you know what I've decided to start doing is I'm gonna do it like they do for TV shows. Let's try that one more time. Okay, it goes on for a little too long. Oh, I can stop it. Okay, perfect. This second little surprise secret gift in my magic gift box is my 5-minute journal. I have been wanting to write in a journal, and I don't know what it is. It's this childhood obsession with seeing cute girls at a cafe, specifically Starbucks, because Utah isn't really rolling in the deep with cool cafes. And them sitting there during the day, they didn't have to work from a cubicle with their MacBooks open. And then they had their like little journals next to them, and they just looked so organized. And something about organization and color coding and writing with a pencil and a pen and a highlighter and having bookmarks and post-it notes. Something about all of that stuff, it like calms me down. It's something I want to do. It's something I've always wanted to implement. I haven't really been able to until now, which if this wasn't called the 5-minute journal, let me tell you something, it would be in my armoire with the 12 other journals that have been chilling in there. But hey, baby steps. In the pursuit of not giving a shit and just letting my freak flag fly and giving y'all all of me, this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna flip to a random page. Let's go here. Woo! 1111. Okay. So, wait, that's really kind of interesting because they have a weekly challenge. And in the past 2 weeks, I've only received one. And that's what happened this day. These are the things I said I was grateful for. And you have to have 3. The first one, the power, freedom, and ability to create the life I desire. Damn, that's like pretty well said. A little bit vague. I love how I'm self-criticizing my first gratitude fucking entry here. The second one was my warm, comfortable bed. Number 3, mental health resources, i.e. therapy, friends, family, etc. Okay, I don't know if I just got lucky, but like I am glad I flipped to this page because I'm going to tell you right now, there are some days where like the thing I'm grateful for is like my Madagascar plant and shit like that. Like this seems like PR, like the PR page of the journal. Okay. What would make today great? Getting in bed by 10 p.m., having an early dinner at 7 p.m. By the way, guys, I don't end work until 7. Haha. Third thing, organizing my calendar. Okay. I'm going to guess one of those 3 things happened. My daily affirmation, I love myself unconditionally and act accordingly. second one, I attract an abundance of success and, this is underlined, deserve it. I think that's a big one that I've noticed recently that's been kind of like getting in the way of me taking my career to the next level is this feeling that like I don't deserve that, which is a very interesting concept that I will speak to my therapist about. But I've been thinking about it, and it's like, I think the way a lot of us were raised, even just around money and our relationship to it, is kind of like, and I've even echoed this, like, billionaires have to be bad people. I mean, guys, let's be real. Look at my history. Look at what's gone down. Look at the amount of money that was at stake. Yeah, I'm sure that my relationship to an abundance of money and success, something got warped. And so I attract an abundance of success and deserve it. Okay, let's jump right into this, shall we? I'm chronically offline. I've always been that way. My mom had to make my Facebook. I refused, and she was like, I'm going to make it on your behalf. Same shit with my Instagram. I don't care that much, but I would like to care. For this week, I got extremely lucky because what I have here is all of this surrounding, well, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, and my commentary ends there. And then we have the real shit, which is RHONY, Real Housewives of New York. I am going to be real with you guys. I have not watched the newest season, but apparently Bethany Frankel came out and made a TikTok that has since been deleted where she goes off saying that the new cast is basically garbage and that they need to bring the OG cast of RHONY back, and that they made like a grave mistake and blah, 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 blah. Bethany Frankel, just want to put this on the record. I don't know if there's anyone who gives less of a some of the TikToks that Bethany posts, just with her eyelashes barely on her face from the night before, no makeup, taste testing matzo ball soup versus egg noodle soup, and just going off on these rants and talking about Bravo, this massive franchise, in any way, shape, or form that she pleases. Well, I guess not any way, shape, or form. I mean, she did delete the whatever TikTok, but obviously, once it's published, it's never really gone, as we've learned. This is what I have to say. And what are the chances? What are the chances? Okay. I'm like getting too excited. When I say that Real Housewives of New York seasons 1 through 12 got me through my deepest, darkest depression, I say that wholeheartedly, right hand on my heart, hand to God, hand on the Bible, which is the Sofia with an F iPad. It was my saving grace. I think it is, to this day, some of the most beautiful television ever made. I don't think reality TV will ever, ever, ever be able to encapsulate even 1/10 of what RHONY was. And so for the new season and the new cast, they have a very, very tough act to follow. I watched the last season and I actually thought it was pretty good. I thought that the drama between the women wasn't necessarily there, but it was like good enough. But apparently, this season, there's no drama. And so, what they're doing is they are trying to produce the show themselves, which we all get it, like reality television. I just interviewed Joey Essex. He claimed he was an industry plant and then 20 minutes later claimed he wasn't. Everyone is kind of self producing to some extent. They've taken it too far, is what it sounds like. Every episode, there's not a lot going on. There's a lot of pranks happening. And in this past episode, there was this prank that one of the cast members pulled. And the prank punchline was that it was like a fake pregnancy. Rebecca Minkoff's fake pregnancy. I don't know how the fuck Rebecca Minkoff ended up in this bitch, but the thing is, number one, it is very rude and self-righteous and not very smart to assume that the viewer is not very smart. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can self-produce to a certain extent. You cannot play the fiddle and the entire season as if the entire population is going to fall for a bunch of bullshit storylines. Also, pranks, like even just that, right? That's all I need to hear to know that this season has legitimately nothing fucking going on. Like, there better be an arrest or something that happens in the second half of this season to make up for this, because a can we just like put this into real world, real relationship kind of view? If any of my fucking friends pulled a prank and convinced me that one of our other friends was pregnant and then came back and said, "Oh my God, haha, like you fell for it. They, in fact, are not pregnant," I wouldn't be laughing. There's nothing funny about it. Like, where is the humor in that? Are we not adults? Like, it's A, not funny. B, the fake pregnancy thing is just, yeah, very, very high school. However, you would never, ever, ever, ever find that kind of bullshit, dumb, totally forced, totally see-through, transparent storyline in OG Real Housewives of New York for a multitude of reasons. First of all, the cast of the OG RHONY. We've got Ramona Singer, we've got Bethany Frankel, we've got Sonia Morgan, we've got Dorinda Medley, we've got Luann de Lesseps, we've got Aviva. Like, the personalities were next level. Their friendships, however severed they were, or however, like, I don't know, maybe it was like a friend of a friend, they were still all of them somewhat running in the same social circle. And it's just, I gave up on RHONY, and it was like a very, very heartbreaking time for me because, like I said, I have a serious emotional attachment to the cast members and that show. I kind of stopped watching once they let Dorinda go. And I actually have to 100% agree with Bethany on this one. They need to just bring the OGs back and call it a fucking day. Because I'm not saying this new cast is not it, but if they're already having issues season 2, then there's a problem. Like when it's like season 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's like, okay, how many fucking fights can we get in? There's an issue. Also, if I were on the show and I really wanted it to succeed, try to catch me pulling some dumb, fake pregnancy prank on somebody. I would just straight up start drama with someone. To be honest with you, I would just I would find some dirt on someone and like go to town, or I would just sit back and be like, you know, whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen. The issue is social media. That is really what it comes down to. You will never be able to recreate the OG RHONY because of social media. Because now cast members are way too aware of how people are viewing them. An episode airs and they're getting thousands and thousands and thousands of comments talking about their behavior. But the thing is you will never be able to recreate it. And I beg you, if you are looking to binge watch a show, it is not Love Island. It is not fucking 90 Day Fiance. It is not Love is Blind. It is not. I love how I'm just like literally screaming out shows from which I've interviewed people from. I'm not saying those shows are shitty. I am just saying reality television was something different back then, and it will hit just as hard today as it did back then. Those seasons and episodes are evergreen. Scary Island with Kelly Ben-Simone and Ramona and Sonia and them run over to the Hooters boat. Turtle Time, Sonia in the limo. Smokey Eye up doing Stad. Smokey Eye up doing Stad. Dorinda, Clip, Luann, don't be all uncool. There's so many quotable moments from the OG RHONY that are still used to this day. And I know it's not like a outdated generational thing, because you know why? And you know why I'm like remembering all of this shit like it's fresh off my brain? My assistant, Soph, she is 24 and she just hit, I think it's season 4, season 5. And we have a debrief about each and every episode every single time she shows up here, which is 5 days a week. Okay? She is 24 and she cannot believe her eyes. So I really think if you haven't seen it, it will blow you out of the water. And to Bravo, okay, Dorinda, I think the reasoning why they let Dorinda go is because she was a angry drunk, quote unquote. When do you decide that the drunk is too drunk to be on television? Because from season 1 up until season 12, those ladies are getting fucking obliterated. And so I just think the angry drunk thing is like, okay, sure, but it's totally fine to exploit them in every other way, and every other time they're completely drunk off their ass, but maybe they just weren't in a angry mood that day. But like those times are fine. What if they're super sloppy and embarrassing, and because they're drunk, you're not cutting that shit out. You're putting that shit on TV. So how are you going to like kick someone off for being an angry drunk? That's just my 2 cents. And I miss them. I miss them. They feel like family to me. And I am literally going to like rewatch, I don't know which season, but I'm going to do it tonight. Oh my God, in the Berkshires. And then it's so fucking incredible. So that's my take. I do think, and I have thought for a very long time, that the OGs need to be part of the show. And it doesn't matter if they're not real friends with this like newer, younger cast, because this newer, younger cast, they're not even friends with each other. Okay. And I don't know if they just wanted something fresh and they thought like younger meant that. Y'all are so fucking wrong. Y'all could not be more wrong. I interviewed Luann like, what, 2020? Yeah, this year. Her personality, larger than life. Probably, I would say, arguably top 3 personalities of anyone I've ever interviewed. Okay? So there are my 2 cents, and I'm about to be not even just the color commentator, the play-by-play commentator. I'm going to have my finger on the pulse of all things in this social climate. And I will be your go-to for news. All right. And with that news, Sloots, I love you so much. On to the next. We are in a cost of living crisis, people, and everyone knows I am the queen of finding ways to save money. And that applies to my retail therapy as well. Rakuten is going to help you save money, period. I mean, it already has for me, so why wouldn't it for you? It's the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. My personal favorites are Sephora, Saks Fifth Avenue, wine.com, but I've also earned cash back on trips I've taken, home appliances, and even dining out with friends. It's truly the gift that keeps on giving, and the membership is free, and it's beyond easy to sign up for. So there's really no excuse. Cashback is deposited directly into your PayPal account, or Rakuten can send you a check. Whatever way you prefer. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's RAKUTEN. Your cashback really adds up. Back for another episode of Save Our Sloots. Okay, question number 1. Hi, Sofia. I've been established in my big girl job for over 2 years and I hate it. I wake up and go to bed with horrible anxiety and depression, and I know I want to do something in my life to change this. What should a girl in her 20s do if she is looking for a change in direction but doesn't know what? I have lived this life. I've literally lived this life. And you guys know my story. I worked in the corporate world for 4 years, and God help us, I don't even know how I made it 4 years. But here's the thing. Your 20s are the time to take risks. And if you are in a job that is making you go to bed with crippling anxiety and depression, then there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I get it. There's the financial aspect. I mean, hi, we're kind of in fiscal turmoil right now. So this is what I always say. I think that you should stick with this horrible fucking stupid ass job. And I think that you should dedicate your time outside of work to finding the next thing. If you are lucky and you have savings and you don't necessarily need to do that, then you can also just fucking cold turkey hand in your resignation letter and bounce. But I think it's good to have a little bit of a cushion. The real question is, okay, how do I dedicate my time outside of my job to change my life and find the job of my dreams and find my dream job and my purpose? And how the fuck does one go about doing that? I don't believe that we're put on this earth and we all have like a purpose. I really don't. I think there are certain things that deep down you enjoy doing. Are you more of a creative person? Are you super interested in astrology? Are you like, it doesn't matter what it is, but just hone in on that. Like, hone in on the stuff that even when you were younger that you love. Hone in on the stuff that you love outside of work. We live in a creator slash influencer economy now. And I'm not saying go be an influencer, but a lot of people are doing that. Like, a lot of people are just taking their either talents, A, or B, taking the shit that they love, making content, posting it, and some of them are getting extraordinarily lucky, and that's how they're making a living. If you have no fucking idea what you're interested in, then what you do next is you say yes to everything. It's a little bit like dating. And I always say this, like, yeah, have a mourning period. Yeah, it's kind of annoying to like go on back-to-back bullshit dates. Yeah. But if you want to figure out what you like and what you don't like, you're not going to know until you've tried it. So if your friend works in a field that you find interesting, like let's say she works in PR, which the people, public relations and publicists, like, scare the fuck out of me. And I've worked with them and they're, some of my closest friends, but like, I think it takes a certain amount of evil Knievel to really work in that industry and thrive. I don't know, call me crazy, or maybe they don't have to be evil, just crazy. That's just my 2 cents. I'm sure that's what people say about the career I'm in as well. But ask your friend what she likes about her job, how she got her job, if you can get involved in any way, shape, or form. Like, people are never going to say no to you popping into their job and just like sitting with them for a day. And do people go into their jobs anymore? I feel like they don't. So, now is the time to take risks. And if your job is making you miserable, I say jump. I will not give you this advice without also telling you, you better hate this job so fucking much that you are willing to relentlessly go after this next endeavor, because it's not going to be served to you on a silver platter. It's not going to be the type of thing where like, oh my God, like I quit. And then the next day I went to a dinner and I told blah, blah, blah that I was looking for a job. And then I walked into the office the next day and now I have my dream job. That's most likely not going to happen. Although I do highly suggest that you let everyone and their mother know that you are looking for a job. But it's going to come with some fucking sacrifices, some dark times, some looking in the mirror and questioning your self-worth times, some multitude of times of you being like, I made the biggest mistake ever quitting that job and I'm fucked. You're going to have a lot of moments like that. So I just want us to be on the same page and set realistic expectations. It's not going to be easy. But if you keep throwing something at the wall over and over and over again, something will stick. Next question. Sophia, I'm having a quarter life crisis. I went through so much school, training, and money to get into the profession I'm in. But the thing is, I hate it. What are great jobs for girls in their 20s who are looking for exciting life opportunities? I've heard great things about being a bottle girl or a server at a strip club, but I just don't know. Any advice? Okay. So what I'm hearing is all the girlies in their 20s are basically fucking miserable at their current state of affairs and are trying to pivot and do something else. Sounds about right. Sounds about fucking right. I know when I was in my 20s, that is exactly where I was. I love how the first exciting life opportunity jobs you list are being a bottle service girl or a server at a strip club. And not because those jobs are not incredible jobs. Hi, my best friend, I remember, moved to Vegas. I was working in Utah in finance, got a degree in economics, thought it was like so cool to drop the name of said financial firm. She was in Vegas, bottle girl, bringing in, I don't know, 8 times the amount of money I was, while also enjoying her life, while also making friends and living her life and not feeling fucking depressed. I mean, being in bottle service comes with its own, pile of shit, but I love that. You know what I love about that is I love that you are willing to be a humble ass hoe, because you mentioned you went through school, you went through training, you spent a ton of money to be in the profession that you're currently in, and you have no issue with pivoting and going over to the service industry, whatever that may be. And let me tell you, my advice for that is go for it, but with the intention, because I know you're a smart ass bitch, that you are going to use this as a launching pad into your next career, which may or may not be more fulfilling. I'm assuming that these jobs you're mentioning are placeholders, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, do you know how many people you meet as a waitress, as a bottle service girl, just working in the service industry? You meet so many people and you will start to garner clients and you will start to serve the same, millionaire chic dude at table 3 every weekend, and you guys will start to get buddy buddy. And straight up tell him, I love what I do. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but pouring champagne into all of these glasses for all of these hot bitches and taking a shot with you. However, I am looking for a job. This is my background. Hey, you don't even mention your background. Just say, I am a killer. I work fucking hard. I want to try something different, and let me know if you're hiring, if you have a friend hiring, if anyone is hiring to do anything. And that's really how these shits start happening. You never get the job that you dreamed about in a regular, normal trajectory type of way. High school and college taught us that, oh, you do these things and then you get the degree in this subject, and then you take that degree and then you apply it to the real world, and then, oh my God, you majored in literature. Now you are an established writer and New York Times bestseller list. What the fuck? Like, why are we in what world? I think I'm not going to say college is a scam because I think it's incredible in a lot of ways, especially if you can afford it, which I could not afford it. And I had student loans up the woo-ha. But life does not work that way. And it's a little bit crazy to me the lack of resources college gives you, like once you graduate. Unless you're like going into law or the medical field or graduate school. Like for the rest of us, it's kind of like, here's your degree, good luck. And then people look at your resume and they're like, okay, did you go to an Ivy League? No. Okay, that's fine. What experience do you have? Nothing because you've been in college. Okay, come back next year when you have experience. Okay, how do I get experience? We don't know, but best of luck. Like, it's kind of just complete garbage and bullshit. This is also what I'll say. It's not like you can't go back to your old job. There are very, very few circumstances in which your new career would make it so that you could never go back to your old career. And I would be a living example of that. I know for a fact that that establishment would not hire me back in a trillion, billion, gajillion years. Or probably really most corporate places, unless they were cool as fuck. Okay, next. Do you ever get scared at night since you live alone? I know I would, LOL. Also, what kind of shows do you watch? Do you watch TV? I thank you so much for checking in on me and asking me and caring about my well being. Do I ever get scared at night because I live alone? Yes, but only because I'm scared of either A, cockroaches, and I have found, I believe, 3 thus far. And I've been wanting to get those like sticky traps that you lay out that I read every single review on Amazon and it was like, you gotta get the sticky trap thingy because that is what will catch every fucking creepy crawler evil entity that's roaming around your apartment. I don't have the guts to do it, and not because I give a fuck about cockroaches, but because of the fact that mice and rats often find their way onto the sticky pad. And something about it, like, do I want to be snuggled up to a fucking rat? No. But do I want to go and look in my cabinet and see a little mouse who died because his little legs got stuck to the sticky pad and fucking broke? I don't know if their legs break on the sticky pad. I don't know exactly how it works, or if they just get stuck there forever and then just die of like thirst and hunger. I don't really know, but if I were to see a mouse on that sticky pad, oh my God. And God forbid it still had a heartbeat, but in order to save it, I would have to basically break its legs off. I'm sorry. This just got like really dark really fast. I was not planning on going here. It feels a little bit too barbaric. So, I did get these special traps just for cockroaches. I have not yet set them up because they are more intricate than a fucking Rubik's Cube. I don't know why. But I don't get scared thinking someone's gonna like break into my apartment and kill me. That's never been a fear of mine. It is more so now because I don't live on the 60th floor of some skyscraper building and I live way more in a populated area, I guess you could say. But it probably should worry me more than it does. Like, this guy came to check my window and he was like, you know that this is unlocked, right? And there's a fire escape that leads up to this window and that your window is unlocked right now. Because if I was your dad, I would not be that cool with it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe if I had a dad, maybe my window would be locked. Yeah, that's right, dad. But see, that's one of those things that was a complete and total joke. But some people will think I'm serious. So let me just clarify it right there. I don't get scared. I only get scared of cockroaches, something waking me up in the middle of the night, and me not being able to fall back asleep. And that could be a robber, that could be someone trying to come kill me, but like as long as they just came in, took my shit, walked out, and I was still able to fall back asleep, I swear to God, I would be okay with that. Like that, me not falling back asleep is more of a fear. And then the obvious one, which is frogging, which I moved into the a frogger paranoid like myself's worst nightmare. The attic upstairs. Upstairs. That's cool. I was trying to blend the word attic and storage. The attic, aka storage, is what they referred to as. I could Airbnb that bitch out. I'm not even joking. Like, it's fucking huge. And like sometimes the little tiny door will like, because of the air conditioning, will swing open. Like that freaks me out. So just all of the rational fears, you know what I'm saying? But no, not really. I don't get scared since I live alone. What kind of shows do I watch? Great question. I watch TV. I've been watching way more TV as of late because I started to notice I would be on my laptop and like be on Pinterest or be like doing something that kind of was keeping me awake. Whereas TV, as we all know, is the best melatonin, that blue light. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I watch TV right now. Boring answer, don't care. I've just been rewatching Succession. It comforts me. It's like my pacifier. Like it soothes me and just it is like me snuggling up on the couch with like a cup of hot cocoa. I find it very comforting, and so that's what I've been doing currently. But yes, I watch TV shows. I kind of watch weird ass shit, to be honest. Like, what did I just finish recently? This movie called The Departure. It's a documentary based in Japan on this man who basically is like the final, I mean, I guess they're calling it departure. He's the final destination for people who want to commit suicide. And it documents the entire process, and you hear these people and you hear what they have to say and you see how he engages with them. And how did I stumble upon this foreign film documentary? Because she also directed Miss Americana, aka the Taylor Swift documentary, and that's how I found it. Yeah, I don't know. TV shows, though, off the top of my head, ones that I've loved: Veep, you guys know. Mad Men, loved, although I had to kind of like click out, click back in. I think I need to give Breaking Bad a second chance because everyone keeps screaming at me when I say that I like couldn't get into it. I also feel the same way with Game of Thrones. Both of those guys, like I couldn't quite get into it. It's more like I just kind of abandon a TV show. And I think it has everything to do with me not remembering what episode I'm on and at what point in time, and that becomes too big of a task, and then I'm like, fuck it. Oh my God. Into the Fire on Netflix. I love true crime. Into the Fire was one of the best true crime series I've ever seen. The first 4 to 5 minutes, I had chills. I had literal chills. It's incredible. So true crime's like another one. There was also this TV show, and I fucking am pissed that I can't. Guys, I'm not gonna stop until I figure out which one it was. She was this psychologist who basically created the department for the FBI on how to catch serial killers by profiling them. And let me find that documentary. She also, you know what? Everyone is super into the Menendez brothers, not documentary, but drama, reenactment, whatever you'd call it. She was part of that court trial. She was basically the person that was able to get the boys to speak openly about the horrific stuff happening within the house. And one of the ways she did that is by having the boys draw pictures. And that was another huge thing that she brought to the criminal psychology world as we know it, is how to have children kind of speak to you without having to use the words, right? But I need to tell you what it was. Anyways, she always worked as a prosecutor and for the prosecution, because obviously she worked for the FBI. And in that case and that trial, she decided to actually go against the FBI, and she decided to be on the defense for that criminal trial, which obviously we understand why. And she got a lot of fucking hate for doing that. She's kind of the coolest person in the whole world. No, it's not Mindhunter. God, I hate how these people are just like, they're not giving women their fucking time and glory. And I mean, what's new? Women never get fucking credit. The woman behind the science of FBI criminal profiling. Mastermind to think like a killer. Oh my God, it's so good. It is so good. So fascinating. This lady is a genius, and I want to be her, and I could not recommend that shit enough. Like, beyond. Oh, I think that's it for SOS, you guys.